Polyphonic perception. Let's talk about what it is and what it isn't. I've been seeing a ton of posts about this lately. My name is Dan Prindle. I'm a PhD in music theory, and I'm a music educator. So let's talk about polyphonic perception. First of all, the word polyphonic seems like it means multiple sounds. Polyphonos, right? Multiple sounds. But that is actually not what it means. Polyphonic means multiple simultaneous melodies. That means that in order for there to be polyphony, polyphonic music happening, there need to be multiple simultaneous melodies happening at the same time. In the vast majority of popular music, this is not what's happening. There are certainly multiple simultaneous sounds. There are lots of different rhythms happening, different instruments playing, but for the most part, what you're hearing in modern popular music is what we would call homophonic music, which means there is a single melody and the rest of what's happening is accompanimental. It's backing up that one melody. There are not multiple melodies of equivalent value or equivalent perceptibility within the texture of the music. So, polyphonic perception for real is that you can experience and hear and understand the multiple simultaneous equivalent melodies happening in polyphonic music. What people are calling polyphonic perception right now is actually just the ability to hear multiple instruments performing at the same time, which is a skill certainly that is, I guess, not something that everyone possesses, but it's definitely a learnable skill and a trainable skill, and it's not a, sort of a special talent of any kind. Anybody can sort of be listening to a piece of music and perceive the various multiple instruments and multiple rhythms that are happening at the same time. Being able to have true polyphonic perception is a little more difficult and does require more musical training for most people. Being able to differentiate multiple melodies happening at the same time when those melodies are actively going all at once and being able to perceive them as separate individual melodies but also together as part of a whole, that's a very different kind of a skill. But I think what I really want to say is that we have a very interesting sort of element of what's called the Dunning-Kruger effect happening. We have a lot of people who maybe don't have a lot of musical expertise start throwing around terms that they only kind of understand. And the less they know about it, the more they think they understand about it. So I think it's important to just understand exactly what we're talking about before we start having a conversation about it. So if we're going to have a conversation about polyphonic perception, then it's really important to understand what that actually is and what it means. And if we're having a conversation about discerning multiple instruments and multiple rhythms within a musical texture, that's a great conversation to have, and that's a skill worth developing for musicians or just any good, listeners who enjoy music. But let's call it what it is. It's not polyphonic perception.